Hello, and if this is your first time joining us, welcome to the Canting Club. This week we have a rare opportunity to taste an unblended Cabernet Franc. This is a very old and very French variety that's now planted all over the world, but it's hardly ever used on its own. It's always blended. About the only place you're liable to find it used solo is in the reds of the Loire Valley. But this one isn't from there. This one is from Argentina, from Tupungato, where the vineyards lie 1,300 meters up in the foothills of the Andes. They're known for producing intensely colored wines, but although this one is a deepish ruby, it's nowhere near as deep and is much more translucent than you'd get from a Cabernet Sauvignon or a Malbec from the same area. The Cab Franc is a lighter coloured, thinner skinned grape. Now, although that nose is only perhaps medium intensity, it's full of pure black fruits, of ripe black plums and blackcurrant jam. But there's also strong herbal notes, very characteristic of this grape, of thyme and of roasted red peppers that keep the whole thing fresh. I also get a whiff of pencil sharpenings, which is surprising because this is totally unoaked. There's nothing between us and the pure fruit flavours here. That palate is much more intense than the nose. Big, ripe, black fruit flavours of blueberries and of blackcurrants. But despite all that ripeness, this is not much more than medium-bodied. The fresh acidity and velvety, ripe tannins on this give it good structure, which balances the weight of fruit. And following on from that nose, there's a very distinctive flavour of red peppers in this too. On the finish, all that fruit is joined by some spicy notes of licorice. But this is very primary. It's all about the fruit. This is what Cabernet Franc really tastes of. Or it does, if you can get it as ripe as this one. That ripeness has moved the flavours towards the black fruit end of the spectrum. In cooler climates, there'd be more red plum and raspberry on this. Another thing that's changed colour is this grape's trademark capsicum scent. From the green peppers you'd find in cooler climes to red peppers on this one. But despite all that ripeness, the winemakers have managed to avoid making this a heavyweight, over-alcoholic fruit bomb. 14% alcohol, which this is actually quite restrained for Tupungato, and it doesn't actually taste that strong. I'd have guessed it more like 13.5%. This makes it much more food-friendly. But this wine is still very young, and a little bit more time in bottle will allow it to put on weight. The nose will intensify, the palate will add depth and a chocolatey complexity. And I know this because I've tasted the 2014, the vintage before this one, which is liable to be the one you get if you order some of this. I think they sent us an advanced case of the 2015 by accident. Cheers.